Ah, good morning, everyone. Back from yesterday. Anybody who was around, here I am, talking nonsense as usual, and it's lovely after being terribly serious about things to talk nonsense for a couple of hours. Not all nonsense. We venture into news and um, current affairs in a sort of a way. Uh, and we do all sorts of other little bits and pieces. But why not? And I'm very awake. Never mind. Never mind. Let's see if we can find out what is going on in the world this morning. Oh dear, 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 dear. It's never good news. Never ever good news. Never. In fact, what I'm going to do is, in a little while, is tap in and just put in good news and see what comes up. Why not? Let's see what we can find. Not very much at the moment. Oh dear, that can disappear. Uh, well, it was the night before Christmas, and all through the house. Oh, I wish we were back there. Um, uh, Nothing was stirring, not even a mouse. It's what you can see. The way you sense around the houses now. Screen time for under fives should be limited to 1 hour a day, parents are told. Middle East crisis, Trump pausing strikes on Iran energy sites. Houthi says no reason to halt Red Sea shipping embargo. Horn shirts, mask use crackdown intensifies with new horn shirts dispersal order. Rain and volcano solution blocked by landowner council says. Tips for you. Household benefits, housebound benefit sheet caught ziplining in Mexico. Oh, well, Ed Miliband's stock is rising because he's a rare commodity in Labour these days, a thinker, Gabby Hinsliff. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Wales won. Bosnia Herzegovina won. Match report. Yes, the Liverpool City Centre Hotel as a fire breaks out and smoke fills the air. Oh, right, okay. Prince Harry and Meghan's arguments about Archie and Lilibet. Oh, Trump says Iran begging for a deal during marathon cabinet meeting. Aha! The world inside Lebanon's devastated city of Tyre as Israel Hezbollah war continues. Oh, have you seen this wanted man? Police want to find him. Oh, more than 6 million vapes and pods discarded weekly in the UK despite single-use ban, study finds. Oh, Elon Musk's ex-advertising boycott lawsuit dismissed by a US judge. Oh, Hornchurch, your local family pub and buzzing nightclubs replace closed Hornchurch boozer. Ooh. Decision made on plans for a coffee hatch at Hornchurch, barber's shop. Ooh. Romford bungalow bids to become large HMO for up to 8 people. Oh, video, shocking footage shows masked Jews attacking in Romford. Oh, PlayStation's dynamic pricing offers wildly differing discounts. Some games. Aha! Community outrage. Some users appear to be paying a significant loss in the PS. Oh, what's that all about? Oh, that's Hornchurch again. Why are we suddenly focusing on Hornchurch? Well, I have no idea. I have no idea what's special about Hornchurch. But there obviously is. So, well, somebody's joined me on one. Not vocally. They haven't tapped in, but there's a little figure that says you're there. So good morning. Yesterday was quite a morning, and it started off with somebody asking me if I was his long lost grandpa, and then eventually, of course, tapped me up for some money. Tapping me for money is like the mouse going to the empty trap. Oh dear, dear, dear! That's the one thing I do not have. I do not have. I don't have money. No, I don't. Got everything else, but not money. And well, there are a couple of stories there. Of course, the war in Iran continues to be controversial. Is the U.S. president telling porkies? I mean, it's difficult to know when he's telling the truth and when he's not. But then again, it's difficult to know when any of us are telling the truth. We all tend to exaggerate things or underplay them, depending on how important we want them to be. So I tried hard to link up to Facebook again this morning. I didn't have the time. I got halfway there. But I am utterly fed up with the faceless society. It may be that it's efficient. I don't think it is, actually. It may be. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt that the faceless society is efficient. But it's soulless. And when things go wrong, as indeed they did with my bank yesterday, they kept on sending me in a circle, and all I got when I actually phoned was say or write your account number. So I did. Pause. Say or give your account number. I did. Pause. Say or give your account number. If you don't do it this time, then we'll log you off. So I tapped it in. Okay. What we'll do now is we'll send you to somewhere where you can actually check your password. Oh, very well. Away we go. Sorry, this option isn't available at the moment. All right, well, let's go back and talk to. No, can't go back. Oh, God, got to start the whole process again. It's impossible. It's ridiculous. I think what the government should do is say, yes, you can be faceless if you wish. And if you're going to be faceless, you've got to make sure that the damn thing works. And if it doesn't, then we're going to levy huge fines on you. That will either make them sit up and make sure that these damn things work, or abandon this whole faceless thing and come back to real people. You know, when the medical profession started this distance healing nonsense, the former head of the local doctor's surgery said to me, you know, Keith, I believe that medicine isn't just about looking at notes. You get to know people, you get to know a bit about them, you get to know what makes them different to somebody else, so you can treat them much, much better than just looking at notes and using them as a number. Well, I couldn't agree more. But that phase has stopped. You don't see the same doctor anymore. Now, I have to be careful here because I'm being very well looked after. I've got Parkinson's. Oh, and one of the things it's done is it's given me an itch. Like the cow in the field, I'm rubbing my back to try and satisfy the urge to scratch. Oh, right. Now, if there's anybody out there who comes across me the way that they did yesterday, please tap in, because I found it exhilarating yesterday morning. By the time we finished, we got almost 20 people. Well, we got over 20 people. They were still coming in at 9 o'clock when we went off. So here we are this morning, and what do you want to bet is we don't get anybody in this morning? Not a single sausage or a soul. And I will talk to myself. But that's okay. What I find is it's therapeutic talking to yourself. And to anybody else who's looking and doesn't actually admit to watching, it is fun seeing lips moving and nothing much happening. So I'm providing a service one way or the other. Oh, yes. Now, I've sent a note to about 20 colleagues with a link to about 4 of them, 5 of them, to see whether, in fact, I get any joy from them. But if I don't, they're into trouble. We've got two people up now watching. And actually, it is... Click as a comment. Well, no, it's just an example. There we go. We're down to being tiny again. Thank goodness. I hated being large. Other things is, now this is particular to Lewis, but it has a widespread application. On the local website, not website, but chat site this morning, our local MP surfaced. Just before he was elected, we interviewed him on this television station and said, James, we just had an MP who actually didn't mingle, didn't say hello to the older person. The one before that, Norman Baker, was renowned for being a great constituency MP. He paid a lot of attention to his constituency. Where are you going to sit? Oh, I shall be like Norman Baker, he said. We haven't heard a peep from him since, until he suddenly appears on Lewis Present, run by a good man, Mick Symes, sorry. There's another gentleman who's hopefully going to become the chairman of this company, Dan Fine. And Dan is a very, very good property developer. He developed what was an old chapel turned flea market on Station Street into some very, very nice apartments. So, if you see the name Dan Fine, that's who he is. He's a good man. He's made a contribution to the community and continues to. I like talking to him. He's a voice of common sense, unlike me, who gets good morning, sir. Music, IMMA. Right, Mr. Music at IMMA. Let me know who you are, since you tuned in and you're listening, watching or whatever. I'm always interested in people with music. I have to tell you that my very favourite piece of music is The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, played by the Danish State Orchestra with Sarah Hicks, a lady conductor, and Tuva Simonson, mezzo soprano, and Miss Anderson, a soprano. And Suva gets the piece going with ya-ya. Da-la-la, ya-ya. Da-la-la, ya-ya. Da-la-la, ya-ya. Da-la-la, ya-ya-ya. And then it goes full orchestra. Do-do-do, do-do-do. And it ends with Elizabeth going, oh dear, that sounds awful. She sounds great. But I have a very Catholic taste in music, so I'm very interested to know what sort of music you actually offer. Do tell me. Tap in. Well, it takes a little while, I guess, but at least we're stirring some interest. Oh dear, dear, dear. I play guitar and piano and sing. Oh, great, terrific. Have you got any examples that you can play us? Because we'd love to showcase you. What sort of music do you play? I have to wait just a little while because in tapping in the reply, it takes a bit of time. I'm on my way to work right now, but next time. Okay. Well, are you talking to us from a car? If so, be very, very careful the way you drive. What work do you do? If you're not a full-time musician, what sort of work do you do? I'm actually a local. Oh, great. Oh, good. So we can hear your music locally. Where do you play? Well, if you, oh, that, right. I busk quite often. Oh, good. Well, we drop us a line because we've had a couple of buskers on. Uh, he says he's got no gigs at the moment, so he had to get a job. That's a good philosophy. A good philosophy. I like that. uh, where do you play? Where are your gigs? We'll give you a bit of a spot if you want. Drop us a line. Drop me a line. HayesKeith@hotmail.com, and we'll talk to you because Teddy Walmsley, who looks after the music side, knows far more about it than I do. Um, uh, okay, uh, we'll look for you, and we'll try and get you on, and give you a showcase. Uh, it's we're not huge, but we do get to the parts that matter. So we're only too happy to give people a leg up, particularly since you're obviously a go-getter. You don't mind dirtying your fingers to further your music, and that's very commendable. So yes, do make sure that you get in touch with us one way or the other. I don't know how close you are to work, and you're going quite early in the morning. I was always an early bird. In fact, I wrote a little piece for Next Door the other day because I'm getting on a bit now, and I remember have good memories. I used to go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning in Vancouver, in British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada, and I lived in North Vancouver, over the inlet. So I would drive each morning at 5 o'clock over what was known as the Second Narrows Bridge, crossing Vancouver Harbour. And on a summer morning, nothing could be more beautiful. Nothing could be more beautiful than seeing the sun peeking up over the horizon and reflecting off the still waters of the bay. Absolutely magnificent. It used to be breathless. I used to think, could I wake and see anything more beautiful than this? Well, circumstances impose on one's life. You move on, and you get into different situations. But once again, I've travelled the world, and I've seen some marvelous things first thing in the morning, and there are some that impose themselves on you. One particularly early in the morning is in Africa, in Nigeria. Came out of the hotel into a little courtyard, and there, plastering the walls, were geckos, hundreds of them, all lying totally still, their little eyes following you. And we would walk past. They never tried to harm you in any way or embarrass you. They just accepted the fact that you were there. And it was lovely to see hundreds and hundreds of geckos plastering the walls. Ah, what a sight! There are so many nice things to see first thing in the morning, and actually, people locally are very good. about taking photographs. There have been some recently on the local, whatever we call them, websites showing the starlings massing in Lewes, not in Lewes, I'm sorry, in Brighton, around the pier, and that is quite a sight to behold. We I've seen many flocks of birds, but the closest to that was in Pristina, in Kosovo, where towards evening the birds would flock and swoop around in perfect formation, diving, twisting, turning, all together, all coordinated. And it is a marvelous, marvelous sight. A marvelous, marvelous sight. And you would take my breath away. Oh, and I must say that the starlings in Brighton are like that. But then we get the rooks, do we not? In Lewes, doing something similar, if that's not in quite so dramatic form. The rooks, of course, giving their name to the local football team, Lewes Football Club. The rooks. And close to the old council building, the one that's been given away, and is now got no soul whatsoever. Another fine mess they've got us into. There is a rookery. There are some tall trees which overshadow the station platform. And those trees have lots of nests in them. Oh, well, 28 minutes into chatting, and neither friend nor foe, except for our music friend, our busker, has tapped in this morning. Oh, there's somebody else now on. We've got somebody else on. Oh, two people on. So they're coming alive bit by bit. Do talk to us. Tap in a message. And I'll try hard to respond to you, as long as it's not too rude. And we're just talking about morning sights. The sights in the morning. Not SITES, but SIGHTS. And some of the most magnificent morning sights that you can see in various parts of the world. The geckos of Africa, the whatever they were, the rooks, were they? As indeed they are in Lewes, the rooks of Pristina. The sunshine reflecting off the bay in Vancouver. All absolutely magnificent. What's your favourite view first thing in the morning? I'll not answer that. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's always a joy, I think. I used to like waking up and looking across at my late wife. For 45 years I did that. And it was never a day that I found it not to be a pleasure. Oh, what a prat, I'll say. But no, it's a nice feeling, a nice familial feeling, a nice comfortable feeling, a nice feeling of belonging and wanting to belong. So I mean that's a distaff side, I suppose, of early morning views. But there are some marvelous views around the world. There really are. Is one of the things that I do miss things that I experienced just once or twice, and one of those is uh, um, waking up in the middle of the Atlantic on board a liner and watching it surging across this great expanse of water from horizon to horizon, nothing in sight. It gives you a very, very isolated feeling, but by the same token, a feeling of ownership. This ocean is mine temporarily. This bit of the ocean is mine temporarily. Before you went in to have a magnificent breakfast, the other day, some documents fell out of a book that I stuffed them into, and they were actually the menus of the SS France in the autumn of 1973, I think, autumn of 73, when we crossed from New York to Southampton on that liner. A wonderful liner it was. But my goodness me, were we well served with food. Absolutely magnificent. I'd forgotten just how good the food was. And my wife had enjoyed it, and my daughter had enjoyed it, and kept these menus. In fact, I'll bring them along one morning and I'll read out to you what we were eating on board that ship. The SS France, now decommissioned, I think. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, probably ripped apart. But it was a marvelous liner. Mind you, I really enjoyed the one that I went to Canada in 1958, across the Atlantic. It was one of the smaller liners, and it also was called the France, the Empress of France. It was, and it was a Canadian Pacific liner. As I said, one of the smaller ones, and it was very comfortable. You got to know your fellow travellers extremely well, and the food was excellent. The company was good. The entertainment was good. For a smaller ship, it had a very, very warm feeling, and you were very, very well looked after. Very well looked after indeed. Come on, three people. Three people can tap in and have a little chat. It was a little later than this yesterday morning that things got going. It's only it's 10 to 8 at the moment, and I suppose it was about 8 o'clock that we really got chatting yesterday morning. Oh, right, two people have left. Two people have left without saying anything. Obviously, what we're talking about is not of interest to them. But traveling the world, I cannot tell you what fun it is. It is good fun, and educational, but also you never know what's going to hit you next. In Hong Kong, you would see entire families, and what, to all intents and purposes, was just a market stall with a big wok, and the food being served up, cooked communally. Oh, it looked delicious. You wanted to go and say, I want some of that. But is there, I've got a friend. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning from me and Casper.
And from Casper as well. Now let's
Yes,
explain to people who Casper is.
well, Casper is my canary.
Aha! And a wonderful vocalist.
Well, you like him, don't you?
I do. Whenever I phone you, which is fairly frequently, Casper sits in the background and sings to me, gives me a serenade.
Yeah, he did that yesterday. He, well, you know how we came about to possess him. One of my wife's friends, sons, I think it is, father-in-law was Casper's owner, but he had to go into a home. And so Casper was homeless for a while, you know, lodging with my wife's friend. And so Jackie, my wife, said, do you fancy a canary? I said, yeah. And so he's been with us ever since, and he seems very happy.
Oh, he's absolutely spoiled.
As long as he's fed, watered, and kept clean. The occasional spray to give him a bath, to avoid him bathing in his own water. But no, again, as you know, I listen a great deal to Radio 3, and I'm up early, so I listen to the breakfast show. And the current presenter is a birder, you know, a twitcher. And he plays on the weekdays, which is his slot. He plays what he calls the dawn chorus. So he picks bird song from a particular bird from anywhere in the world. And I deliberately play it loud because Casper reacts. It sets him off. And last week, the bird was a canary from Tenerife. Well, Casper went mental. Because it's all like a competition, you see. The male canaries sing, the females don't. The male canaries sing. Yeah. And they sing as a sort of defense mechanism, really. And we have a robin here locally, tiny little thing, but he hops across the driveway once in a while. And there was one morning when Casper was giving it the full song, and my wife noticed that the robin was listening. You could see the robin stop, and the head was twitching. And then the following day, Casper was giving it the full Monty again, and the robin hopped up onto the hedge, literally outside my window, to see where the noise was coming from, and then hopped off. It was hilarious, really. You
know. Robins are quite territorial, aren't they?
They're very territorial. There were two, but it was the wars of the robins.
There's Casper. Listen to that. I was just talking about experiences in the morning. Casper is among the great experiences in the morning. Listening to Casper is a joy.
Yeah, well, everybody who's heard him loves him. I mean, my brother-in-law, Jonathan, was terribly ill in hospital some months ago, really badly ill, in horrible pain with a back problem. And I think we recorded him at least once, if not twice, and sent it to Jonathan, and he absolutely loved it. The problem is, as I've said to you, he's unpredictable, this Casper. So you could sit there for hours with a recorder and he wouldn't do anything. and then you'd get sick of it and turn the recorder off, and he'd start singing as you leave the room. So there we are. So right, so are you streaming this to anybody?
We've had 4 people on this morning. One has responded, a musician, who told us he's busking, and when he's not busking, he goes to work.
Well, I'm looking at a picture of a man in a top hat and a funny moustache and a white face, with at musical MMA. Good morning, good sir.
Yes, that's the man.
So is that a message?
Yes, indeed. We've had quite a little conversation. No gigs at the moment. Okay, hang on. What's the time? 7:48. That's me. Oh, he's come back on. 7:48. Yes, he's come back on. That's me, he said. You're talking about. So you're talking about that very man in the white face and the top hat.
Yes.
So he's listening to you.
Well, I'm glad he is. As you know, Keith, the younger of my sons is a talented musician, as well as a music teacher. He hasn't busked. Oh, I know he has busked, actually. He went, years ago, he went to, I think it was Oxford or Cambridge, one of the two, with a friend, and they busked up there. As you know, he's a bass guitarist in, at least one band called Star City, who have they do gigs regularly in Brixton at a venue called the Windmill, but they've also travelled abroad. They've been to France and Belgium and Holland to play. And he also does functions, paid functions, as well as his teaching, because he also plays the double bass and the clarinet when he feels like it. So yeah, he's our youngest, and he's very musical. So your viewer may be interested in that.
Yes,
hang on. I do bass guitar streams on my channel.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
So he's an interesting bloke.
Very.
I told him to get in touch, and we'll try and give him a spotlight on Mirador.
Well, please do. Now, I'm trying to work out, are you actually live on YouTube or something, or is it just between us?
No, I'm live on YouTube.
Because I'm getting a message at the top, but no doubt I'm just a guess, but it says, stream this to your audience. But
I think that what that is Streamyard has started a new service, and what you can do is, if you're a guest, there's something you can tap into. We'll investigate it, and you can then send it on to your audience. In other words,
right.
The people who follow you.
Right.
That's what that's about, I think. But yes, we're live as normally we would be. Here we go. If you also had a channel, you can
stream the same combo to your own channel. I see.
Right. So that's something I think we've got to look into, Philip. Because you've got quite a lot of people following you.
I can't stay long because I've got a doctor's appointment shortly, so I've got to get to the surgery. So I just thought I'd check in.
Yes, nice to hear.
And obviously a welcome to your guest. I mean, all I'm seeing is I'm seeing a picture and then at musical MMA. What is before the musical MMA?
That's his title, I think. What do they call it? His
Oh, is this on X or Twitter?
Yeah.
Or something? Yeah.
And what he said is that if you also had a channel, well, you read the message, and I'll put that up live now so everybody can see it.
All right. Well, Casper and I must sign off, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well,
I might be back before 9.
good. Yes, yesterday was an eye opener, Philip. It really was. We gathered pace as the morning went on from all corners of the world. Whether that's going to be a regular thing, I don't know. But I'm going to go on every morning, and if I can borrow Casper, it'd be marvelous.
Well, all right. Well, keep sending the links.
Yeah,
I might see you later. If not, maybe tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Toodle pip. Is Philip Meredith, former barrister, retired barrister, and works very hard for Mirador, and part of a very good team. But we've never, well, at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday, Teddy Wormsley comes on, has his own little audience at the moment, which is growing because he's very amusing and full of chat. But this is a new feature and done quite by accident. I only just sort of tapped in yesterday morning and to say hello to anybody, and it just grew as the morning went on. So I thought, well, I'll do it again this morning, and let's hope we'll get some people to join us. You can talk about anything you like. We are actually planning to try and get a live chat. It's not easy with television. It's not easy with radio. We're going to try and get live chat so that you can chat properly. For the moment, what you can do is on YouTube, you can post a comment. So please do if you're such a mind. And several people did yesterday. One from Indiana in the United States, a couple from various points around the globe. So we can have a nice international chat. Some people just going to bed, some people just getting up, some people woken up in the middle of the night. It's a lot of fun, and I would commend it to you. Let's see, we've been going for almost an hour now. Well, I can tell exactly 50 minutes, 48 minutes and 29 seconds exactly. So we've had a good hour's chat. You can tell from the fact that I'm getting hoarse. And do actually not only log in yourself and make some comments, but will you make sure that you tell people about our morning chats because they can be very interesting. I thought of calling this program, if we were to call it a program, Not as Strange as Folk, which is a Yorkshire saying. But it's absolutely right. You are all very different to one another, all interesting, all lovely people of different backgrounds, different interests, different ideas, different views. And they are all interesting, no matter even if some of them may be extreme. I don't mind as long as it doesn't get so extreme it gets offensive. I don't care, and my colleagues don't care, whether you're extreme left, extreme right, extreme in between, as long as you actually treat everybody with courtesy and with some consideration, and that you think out what it is that you're saying, not just mindless chatter. You can indulge in mindless chatter if you like. I mean, that's what I do. Mine is mindless chatter, just to keep things going. But then I'm a master at indulging in mindless chatter, and I've managed to keep it up to an hour. Well, it must have been almost 10 past. It must have been 10 past the hour that we actually got on the air for some reason this morning, because we've been broadcasting now live for 50 minutes. And if we've been going since 6 o'clock, going since 7 o'clock, it should be showing that we've been going for 60 minutes, but it isn't. So I guess what happens is that quite often you fool around trying to suss out what's going on, and pressing this button and pressing that button, and being frustrated. Let me tell you just how I was frustrated by Lawrence Bank yesterday, who have just moved their banking operation out of Lewis. So Lewis has no banks whatsoever anymore, as I'm aware anyway. It's possible that there's a building society. But I tapped in, and I got my password wrong. I'm always getting passwords wrong. So I reset the password, and when I went back, I was made to log in all over again with my username and my password, new password, and my special code for accessing my bank account. I did all that, and then I was taken to another site which said, please check into your email because we've sent a link. So I check into my email, there's nothing there. So we fool around a little bit, and then eventually a message comes and says, here is your special code. It's only good for a minute. So you better hurry. It's already 5 minutes late. So I tap in, and it says, this system for opening up is not available at the moment. Try again or try another way. I go on with this and keep going into loops for a good half hour. Eventually, I get to talk to an algorithm, a lady's voice, which says, here are the options. I don't want any of those options. I want to talk to somebody and get back and get into my account. Oh, God. Get into your account? What do you think we are, a bank? I mean, I'm laughing now, but I was frustrated at the time. Oh, dear, was I frustrated at the time. And eventually, I gave up. I'm going to go back this morning and see if I can actually talk to a person. But, you know, at 86, living on your own, lifelines are exactly these types of systems. And if they don't work, they are more of a hindrance than they aid. And I think that the government should actually pass a legislation that if you're going to use algorithms and social media and all this, instead of actually providing a person, that if the thing goes wrong, that the fines are enormous to dissuade people coming on with half-assed systems that don't work, that promise everything and provide nothing. Ha! Ha! Right. Let's see if we can find a little bit of something for you to watch. Because we have all sorts of things that right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see Stephen Catlin, the former mayor, late mayor but a great crusader and a valued member of Mirador's team. Let's look at some of one of the things that he did, if we can. Open. Catherine's Corner.
Did you know that when we pay for council tax, the price includes special expenses? What are they? Stephen Catlin will explain. However, during the lockdown, there were certain jobs that were supposed to be done by the contractors employed by the council. When Stephen asked the council about the jobs that were not done and why they were not done, the response was because of an act of God. We were shown some correspondence between Stephen and the council. Slightly confusing. One paragraph says the work was not done because of an act of God, the pandemic. And the next paragraph says the job not only it was done, but the contractor also had special and extra expenses. Which one is it? You can't have it both ways. You will try though, won't you? Was it an act of God when you look into people's bank accounts if they don't pay their council tax? Because apparently, that's your right to do so. Some more information would be nice, council. And clearer information too. Just listen to what Stephen Catlin has to say now.
Here we are in Malling, part of Lewes. You've seen Malling Recreation Ground, where the council special expenses are being properly applied. Let me just explain briefly. Special expenses are levied by Lewes District Council on every council taxpayer in Lewes for the maintenance of open spaces. They have now got cracking, but it wasn't done in March, April, May or June, although we were still expected to pay in our council tax. What they haven't yet managed to do is this bit, by the river. So it's not quite as an attractive walk as it might be, although of course they may excuse their neglect by saying this is to maintain wildlife. But even so, the dead grass needs, excuse me, let me see who this is. I've got to take this. This bit had not been cut back. It does need to be done at some point to tidy up the dead grass. But we'll see. The whole point is that we pay every month in our council tax for this groundwork to be done. It was not done in March, April, May or June. And in one piece of land, a churchyard in the care of the district council, the town council actually had to pay to bring someone in to do it because it was in too bad a state. District are saying the contractor is catching up, but nevertheless we have paid for work that has not been done. I mean, even if the grass was 2 foot high, once it's cut, it's cut. It just hasn't been done when it should have been. And I pay on my council tax about £387 per annum. That is the second lowest. Band A will pay less, bands C, D and D will pay more. I don't see the difference between this work that has not been done, yet being charged for one, and a rogue roofer charging someone for not re-roofing their house. That becomes a criminal offence. So I really would like to know how District Council justify this. And it would be good to have a more public answer. Next, if you can bear holding your breath until we get there, will be the matter of redundancies at Lewes District Council. That's whetted your appetite. See you soon.
Oh, there we go. There's Stephen Catlin, and as usual, right to the heart of the matter. Some of those questions have never been answered. It's very typical of government, local government particularly, is if you don't say anything, it'll all go away. And in fact, of course, it does. It's a pity we don't stick with it. But perhaps we'll revisit those questions and see whether they've been resolved to any degree of satisfaction. After all, that's about 2 or 3 years old, that report. Obviously before Stephen passed away. Those people who are new to Lewes, Stephen Catlin was a mayor with a difference. He got his fingers dirty. He would go out and he would trim bushes in the little parks around the town. He would make sure that flowers weren't left to droop. And his pride and joy was a little strip of land, Pinwell Lane, that runs between the back of All Saints Centre and the House of Friendship, not the House of Friendship on School Hill, the House of Friendship of the Quakers on Friars Walk. And he carefully fostered that, cultivated it, so that it was a beautiful jumble of flowering bushes. It's only a narrow strip of land. It's what's known as common land, and he had, or somebody had, a gate from the friary that once sat at the junction of School Hill and Friars Walk, had a gate moved there. The only extant sign that was ever a quite large friary built and operating on that site. And it was a lovely, lovely piece. People came from miles around to take a look at it. And of course, when Stephen died, everybody wanted to look after it. What ends up is nobody's looked after it. And in fact, Mirador, through Teddy Walmsley, is taking a look at it. And we hope that Alex Hoare is on the way back to the station. He's the extraordinary young gardener who now has his own nursery in Bolney, I think it is. And his dog, Joey, was the star of the show. And Alex is sorely missed by a lot of people. And we hope he's agreed to come back. It's a question of getting a time and a date. But it's the sort of thing that we would like him to take a look at and give advice on, and see whether we can bring it back to the glory that Stephen Catlin had brought it to. And that's one project. Teddy has got a balcony in bloom competition going in this complex, which houses about 400 people, I believe. Clevedown, which is on the road going out of, I think, Western Road, going out of Lewis onto the it's not a freeway, it's a bypass. And that's the is location of it. Here's the prison. You found the prison. You found Clevedown. It's on the opposite side of the road. But anyway, Teddy has got a balcony in bloom competition going for the residents of this complex. Depending on how well it does and what sort of results we get, we will then widen it to the whole of Lewis. And why not to the whole town, the whole of the area, and for that matter, the whole of the country? A Britain in bloom competition would be marvellous. The logistics would be enormous, far more than we could handle. But perhaps we'll spur somebody to take it up. When I was in British Columbia, a lady called Grace McCarthy. Grace McCarthy was the Deputy Prime Minister. She was an extraordinary lady. As I boast, one of the very few honest politicians that I ever knew. The other one was Norman Baker, who got on with the job, controversial though they would find it, of trying to do their best for their community, rather than the best for themselves. And she almost single-handedly developed the Whistler Olympics, the Whistler Winter Olympic site. She had the vision for a lovely market on a little island in the middle of what in my day was a log-strewn, polluted inlet off Vancouver Harbour. She developed that into a market where you could get marvellous food. You could even take a little boat over to it. It was a development that was worthwhile. She then helped develop an underground-overground system using old tunnels built by the Canadian Pacific Railway to do a rapid transit system around Vancouver. She was an incredible lady, a wonderful lady, and one who is. I was back in Vancouver. Oh, it's some years ago now, 3 or 4 years ago now, and read some of the Young Turks, who were the political commentators. They had no idea of what this woman was about. No idea at all. All they did was they looked at it in a surface way, and much the same as people rely upon the internet now. Instead of being good investigative journalists, even mild investigative journalists, they rely upon rip and read from the internet, and it's a disaster. You rely upon it can be a disaster. Anyway, Grace McCarthy, a remarkable lady, When she was Deputy Premier, I used to fly around Vancouver doing traffic reports, but also doing reports from the air on pollution and so on. And I invited her to fly with me and comment. And brave lady that she was, and open to the public as she was, she agreed, and she climbed into the aeroplane. And as we took off, we got caught in the walls, WORLS, walls, of a jet taking off just ahead of us. And the wing dipped and missed the ground by about a foot. Ha! And she just giggled and carried on regardless, even though we came very, very close to disaster. I almost killed the cabinet minister. But it was a way of getting the politicians to take a look at issues directly. So they couldn't say, oh, wait, no, that doesn't exist. There they were looking at it. And she was a very willing guinea pig for things like this. So a special, special lady. Why did I get onto that? I don't know. Because we're just feeling our way on this. Yesterday morning, we got multiple people on. This morning, we've had 3, 4. You never know with in this game what's going to come on and what's not. Sometimes you think people are interested in our community, and other times you think that they could care less. It's a funny picture you get when you're in media. The reflection of our society is quite remarkable. Now, I love people. That's an old adage. Oh, why did you take this job? Because I like people. No, that's not what I mean. I see the good side of people before I see the bad. When I see the bad, I really go after them. There is no question that we have got dicey councils here. And not only in the elected officials, but also in what is best called the civil service. How else would both of them lose 50 million quid apiece? And the funny thing is that the government falls for it. Oh, you lost 50 million quid. They don't ask how they lost it. The council themselves don't hesitate. If you owe them 50 quid, they go for it. They are outraged. You have mortally offended them. How could you do such a thing? How could you do such a thing? We get little tips and hints pop up on the screen. Today is how to edit a video. Ah, dear. Anyway, where was I? I was in full flow. I know that. And I just finished with an honest politician, Grace McCarthy, Deputy Prime Minister of British Columbia. And we were moving on to local issues. And I got diverted with my pet hate to the local councils. Because Steve and Kathleen dug up all sorts of things on the local councils and nothing was ever done. And we're going to the polls in May. Are we in this part of the world? Because we're out of kilter with the rest of the country. That's why we're not going for 18 months. But anyway, local council polls are being held in May. And it's an opportunity to let the politicians know what you're thinking, and not by withholding your vote. Don't let the polls show only 30% of us, in fact, 20% of us voted. You've got no right, if you didn't vote, to complain about council tax or anything else if you don't vote. That is your ticket to ride. Make sure that you go to the polls. And believe me, I have worked and lived in areas where the vote is offered as a sop. It's not really a vote. The results are skewed. Votes are lost. Votes are misapplied. It's not pleasant, because you know what the outcome is going to be and you know what those people stand for. Don't let that happen here. Now, I'm not saying vote for reform or vote for Liberals or not the Greens or whatever. On the contrary, it's up to you the way that you vote. But do get your act together so that you know what it is that you want, and you give a considered vote, not just stuff a ballot or ignore altogether. That is not the way to do things. No. That's not the way to do things. You've got to be involved. I don't have the time, you say. Everybody's got the time. You can get a postal vote if necessary. That takes 5 minutes and takes you 5 minutes to cast. So I don't want to hear any excuses from you at all. I think we're talking to ourselves now because the last of the viewers, as far as I can determine, no, you're back they are. This is an experiment, but we've had 4 people on this morning, and 4 is better than 0. So I am going to keep up appearing and talking for 2 hours. It's very tiring, particularly since I've got Parkinson's. Talking for 2 hours until I'm blue in the face, in the hope that some of you will join me and get involved in a debate. We're going to start reminding you of where we are, who we are, and why we are. So you've got no excuse to stay away. And if you've got anything about you at all, you'll contribute to the debate. Remember what we say, there's nought so strange as folk. Nought so strange as folk. That means that you're interesting. It doesn't matter whether you do nothing more than keep your bum on a seat all day. You're interesting. And we need to hear from you. So just by being on, you're contributing to our community, keeping it alive, and keeping people aware that we are different. That's incidentally, I meant to say, introducing Stephen Catlin in his piece was a lady called Annie Verrill. I don't know. She was Polish, I think. Polish? Yeah. So, an excellent pianist. And although she was new to it, she turned out to be an excellent broadcaster. Lockdown devastated a lot of folk, and it devastated Annie. She couldn't keep going without some form of compensation. Where she went to, I have no idea. Their gain is our loss. If I knew where she was, I would invite her back. She's a very engaging lady. I confess to being rather fond of her. Nothing more, just fond. Mirador has found a number of people. It's got a very good track record of developing broadcasters, some of whom are on the station right now. So please support us. Or don't. Why not sap in early in the morning just for a chat about nothing particularly? Nothing particularly. Well, let's see. Nothing there. I'm looking through the files just to see what we've got that might be pleasing to the eye. Is program one, I think. Well, how about court at law? Or what's Peaky Blinders? I have no idea what Peaky Blinders is. Let's have a look at that. Nothing. Nothing. All right. Program one. What about the kiss? That's a good one. Yeah.
Hey, Ellie, come on, give us a kiss. Come on. First thing in the morning.
Well, my dear, people can always dream. I just wanted to come in here to see if you're boring people again.
No, I would never bore people. I don't
okay,
think.
Well, depends who you ask, I guess.
Now, this is sort of a piece of art which, today, with all due respect, it's got a lady's breast showing. Oh, but in the early part of the 1900s, the most famous statue in the world, probably, Rodin's The Kiss, was here in Lewes, and it was bought by a mad American, and it was then put on show very briefly before everybody getting upset that it was obscene, and then it was tucked away in a shed.
So I've heard.
Yeah, have you seen The Kiss? Have you looked at the statue?
If I say no, is that a problem?
Oh yes, it is.
Then I did.
But the good burghers of Lewes decided that it was obscene. I mean, a little old lady, I don't think she was that old actually, she was rather prim, she marched down to the council and said, here, if you're going to show that, I'm going to complain. And they got so frightened, they took it away and put it in the shed.
The council, frightened?
Yes.
I would like to ask that lady for her secret.
Yes. Well, actually, it's nudity, but let's not talk about that.
No.
Well, it wouldn't be a pretty sight if I went down.
What
to the
you
council.
do in your own time, that's your problem, okay?
Now, the interesting thing is that there are, taken by Reeves, the local photographer, who have got a wonderful history of Lewis, from almost the day that photography was invented. They got shots of the kiss being in the town hall and the troops being fed in the town hall. And somebody has decided that they must put a blanket over the kiss.
Oh, dear.
But they mustn't get the troops excited.
Interesting.
Yeah. One of the things that is interesting is that a good friend of ours, Paul Miles, in the year 2000, actually brought the kiss, the actual statue, by this time has become famous, of course, and is on display. Well, it goes on display around the world. But he brought it back, and it was on display in the town hall. Had thousands and thousands of visitors, and as far as I'm concerned, as I'm aware, not one of them complained.
Times have changed, I guess.
Yes, they have. Yeah, well, a naked statue is a naked statue, but I mean, this one really is considered to be a statue of love to beautiful people actually embracing. The trouble is, they're beautiful people. And
Well.
I'm not so sure that it's a pretty sight if I embraced anybody. So don't get your hopes up.
Oh, God. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. By the way, did you complain when they finally took the statue away?
Yes, I did.
I'm sure.
I wanted it there for much longer.
I bet you visited the statue a few times.
Oh, I did,
course.
yes.
No surprise.
Yeah, but actually, Annie, this town is known for its eccentricity, and apparently this American really was very eccentric, and when he first commissioned it, and of course Rodin wasn't as well known then as he's become since, so it was a very daring thing for him to do.
Well, he was an American.
Oh dear, oh you made a few friends there.
Yes. Our lovely colleagues. They are two wonderful ladies, so don't stop.
One of the things that we will be doing later in our programme is, when I say our programme, not the programme today, but we are cognizant that the arts plays a very big role in Lewis society. And strangely enough, what we have standing to my right is a very talented pianist. Don't know what to say to that, do you?
Well,
Yeah, I've never been nice to you before.
unless you want something.
Oh,
Could I have a coffee, please?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it too far away from you? That's what I'm here for, I guess. Who cares about the piano?
oh dear, there's nothing feminist about this, but it's just age. Yes, these youngsters are all the same. They don't want to get the older man a coffee.
I don't care what you're saying. You called me young, so it's all good.
Well, to me, you are a youngster.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yes, right.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay.
But anyway, not only that, but Annie is also a very talented vocalist, and she eventually is going to host a music program in which she will play the odd piece of music and she will sing. But also, we've got some very talented people around Lewis whom you're going to entertain. I mean, Dandelion Charm, for instance.
Indeed. Very talented.
Yeah.
Very
Alcohol.
good music.
Newton Arts. Newton Arts. Do you know where Newton Arts is? That's in Northern Ireland. It shows you how I have flashbacks.
New Haven,
sometimes.
you mean?
That's right. That's what I mean.
Exactly.
I never get anything wrong, do I? No. Right.
You get everything right.
Yes, thank you.
I'm just here to praise you for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, go on. Praise me a bit then.
Okay. Your hat looks good.
There's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. But we will be covering a number of things over the weeks, because we do have a very rich society here. But then we will be looking at our American cousins, because we do go to America later in the day. Our good friend Melissa Conti and the team over there, Suzanne Mouchot and Mark Landsman, because things are happening in the United States which are of interest to us, and there are things happening in Lewis which are of interest to them. So it's a nice mix, and I think you'll find it interesting. What do you think?
Everything we do is interesting, especially if you have me in it.
Oh well, I can leave her at home. All right. Nice to be with you this morning. We'll see you later in the day. Until then, toodle pip.
Goodbye.
Well, there you are, the very talented Annie Verrill. If anybody knows where Annie is, tell her to get in touch, because modern technology means that people can broadcast from anywhere nowadays. It doesn't matter where you are. And she would be a welcome addition back onto the streams of Mirador. So Annie, come on home. All is forgiven. I think. Right. Okay. Then let's. I just got my new bus pass, and I find it very difficult to use the bus now because of my Parkinson's. Because I am just I can't stand. So if I get onto a bus that's full, I'm in trouble straight away. I'm such a gentleman. I don't expect anybody to stand up for me. And the rocking of the bus, if I am standing, means that I'm likely to fall. And if I fall, then I've got to be picked up. And nowadays, if I fell on the bus would have to stay where it was until the ambulance arrived. And that could be up to 2 hours. So I wouldn't be exactly the most popular man on that bus. Or with the bus company, for that matter. The bus pass. It says quite clearly that you can go on any local authority bus. So in other words, in theory, you should be able to get up to Scotland by going from town to town. Now, I imagine that would be rather slow, but it would be an interesting thing to do, wouldn't it? In fact, one of the things that I might want to do later in the summer as a labour is get our camera going, which I've got here. Let's see. It's tied up in all sorts of cables. But here's the camera. It's a good camera, and I might just take that and see how far I can get on a bus. See how far, if I set up from here at 9:30, which is the time that you can start to use the bus pass, and keep going up the country from authority to authority. You'd have to plan it a little bit better than just take off, I think. But to go up and see how people treat disabled people, whether any are better than others, whether in fact how far you can get in a day, whether you can find decent digs at the end of a day's travel. Yes, that might be an interesting one, and of great use. I might just tell my colleagues and friends at Parkinson's Society and what I plan to do. and perhaps get a bit of logistical planning from them. Why not? Yes. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to test. I want to test Dieppe and the ferry over to Dieppe and see how well they treat people. I go on the scooter. I go via train to New Haven, onto the ferry at New Haven, off the ferry at Dieppe, into the town of Dieppe, have some lunch. There's a hotel that I like there that I'll try hard to see how they treat people who are disabled. It'll be very interesting, I think, and a social experiment. Let me work on that, both the bus pass and the ferries. Let's see how well they behave towards those of us who have difficulty getting around. Yes, I think, and we'll rope Harry Atherton in on that program. Harry is our colleague and correspondent in France, in Normandy. That would be sort of a bit of fun, a bit daring, and if that goes well, then let's try one of the airlines. We'll try the luxury airline, the business airline, and we'll try the cheapie. See how they run. What happens if you get to Gatwick, say, and you use your scooter? That's the only way you can get mobile. You get your scooter, and they say, no, you can't take that on board the aircraft. What you do is you leave it here. What do you do at the other end? How do you manage? And are there people at other airports who will make sure that you can get off the aircraft and out to somewhere that you can get into the local town, the local city? Yes, this you see, being able to muse in the morning and think things through gives you time to be creative. I like those projects. We'll try the buses. We'll try the trains. The trains are pretty good, actually. I know about the trains, but I like to go down for lunch to Littlehampton. Wouldn't it be fun if I got the local council involved? Oh, they go together with me like oil and water. We dislike one another intensely, can't stand one another. But that's a good project, and I shall get onto it immediately after we've gone off the air this morning. Another 15 minutes. Do try and join us. I know there aren't too many people watching, but it doesn't matter. Yesterday, we were overwhelmed. This morning, we're underwhelmed. But we will keep at it because we are a voice that must be heard, an ordinary voice, nothing special, nothing spectacular, not treating world affairs as world affairs, talking about things that are of immediate concern. How interested are you? Well, it's up to you. Let's try and get something going between us. Let's try and get Lewis to be a leader in how disabled people are treated. If there's only one of you listening at the moment, tell whoever you can. Let's see if we can whip up a storm. Yes. Yes, it's about time that bloody council, instead of harassing me and harassing all sorts of people of my age, gave some support to us as community people. Yes, indeed. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, my fertile mind is thinking things through. It's now 10 to 9. Sorry there aren't more of you this morning, the way that were yesterday morning, but it's obviously a luck of the draw. We shall be back tomorrow, and more of the same, more chat, more thoughts, more bits and pieces. We just got time to we've got time to play one more piece. Let's do that. Let's use that time sensibly and wisely. It's just a few photographs from the late Susan. Once again, a lady suffering from cancer. Whereas, first of all, let's go. This is Mirador.
To Mirador.
Give us back our town. Beer, wine.
So, thank you for joining.
Hey, Ellie, come on, give us a kiss. Come on.
Do admire the hanging gardens of Babylon on the way. They can't even cut that back properly.
Hello. At last I've caught you asleep.
You did hold up a Bible upside down, but you held it up.
Hey there.
It is a massive ball of uselessness. Oh, you can't say that. way is it my romances all go wrong. Annie was the first girl her mother thought me twee. She sent a big invitation with an RSVP. It is wonderful to end a day like this, where I am completely sober and articulate, and I'm surrounded by people who cannot put two words together.
You said end the day like this. Isn't this the morning programme or something?
Yes.
Okay. You're ending it already?
Yeah, well, you've been drinking all day.
All day? That's all right then. It is the morning programme, you know.
Well, you will be drinking all day.
Oh, God, after this I will.
We've learned so much on this epic journey. We've learned what makes Lewis Lewis and what it's had to deal with in the past. We've learned... What else did we learn?
I'm Mark Landsman.
Diddle bib.
Pray for me. Goodbye.
Mirador TV. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Well, that's Mirador. We've still got a few minutes left. I think, yes, we have. Let's... let's see if we can... That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Get me to the church on time.
We filmed the next break an egg in a church with the old man.
Ah. Only I can manage to... Well, there you go, you see. Only I can manage to get things fucked up like this. There we go. There we go. I knew I was there all along. Anyway, it's time to leave. Thank you very much for being with me, those of you who have. Yes, I had a chocolate bun for breakfast. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And some of it stuck to my lip. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, some of it stuck to my collar too. Oh, I'm a mutty pup. Anyway, that's it for today. Join me tomorrow at 7 o'clock for a little bit of a natter, a chat, your ideas, your thoughts, if you wish, you can say anything you like, as long as it's legal, and express your views. For the moment, this is Keith Hayes saying, I used to work with a man who used to say the very best of goodbyes. So what I'm saying is the very best of goodbyes until tomorrow. It's now 9:04. Toodle-pip.